Hey there everyone, we're going to do this video today because I've gotten a lot of comments and requests to discuss how to align your garage door sensors. You know, the ones at the bottom of the garage door that will trip and stop the garage door from working or coming down if you should walk in front of it. It's a safety measure. Well, one of the struggles is that if you don't have those things set up properly, then your garage door is not going to work. If you try to press the button to make it move, it either won't work or it'll start moving and it'll stop. It's really frustrating when you can't figure out exactly what the issue is. Seems really simple, but there's a couple little things that that you need to know if you're trying to fix this, or even just to set it up for the first time. You want to make sure you're doing it right. So I'm going to show you right here on a couple of sensors that just happen to be from Genie, and it's essentially going to be the same thing no matter what brand or of sensors that you have. So let's go take a look. The first and most obvious thing is that these sensors have to be aligned and be pointing at each other on both sides. Okay, see the other ones in here. And if these are not pointed right at each other, they're misaligned, they're not sensing each other, it's going to look like there's something in the way. Okay, so the first thing is that you need to make sure that these are at the right height. Let me back up. The real first thing is if you've already installed them, make sure there's nothing in the way blocking the laser or the sensor. Assuming that that's not the case, you have to make sure these are aligned properly. And one of the easiest ways to do that is with another laser, which you may or may not have. I'm going to show you what that would look like. We happen to have one right here. And there's another method, so don't worry if you don't have this laser. We're going to show you a secondary method that anyone can use. Okay, so we have it set up now and I have it blinking, but you'll be able to look and see whether or not with this self-leveling laser, whether or not it is touching the device at the same spot on each side. So that's one way to do it. Not everybody has this laser though, so we're going to show you another way. But by the way, if you're interested in learning more about this laser, I'm going to link to that video up in the corner. The other way to make sure this is level is to use a string line. And I've got a clamp attached here to the rail, and I've got a string attached to that. We're going to go all the way across and wrap it around a couple of times. Okay, and once you do that, you can now take a regular level and put a level on here to see whether it's level, and it happens to be level. Otherwise, you could make an adjustment to one of these clamps, and then once you have it level exactly where you want it, you can install your sensors. Obviously, I'm doing it up high just for the purposes of the camera, but you'd be doing it down low where the sensors would go. Okay, just a simple 2 clamps and a string line, or attach the string line any way you can without clamps, and then just use a regular level to make sure that they are aligned. And that way, okay, if the string is going from one of the eyes to the other one, then you know that the laser will too. All right, let's assume that you're level and it's still not working. And on the Genie model, the reason why you'll know it's not working is the red light will be flashing. Okay, you're going to get flashes and it's not going to work, and your garage door is not going to work. By the way, if you're doing a new install of the garage door opener, which I've got another video I'll link to up in the corner there for that, if you don't attach the sensors, the garage door is just not going to work until they're attached and aligned and working properly. So you can't even really test the garage door until those are set up properly. So a couple things. One, not that this should matter, but I would make sure that you have, that there's 2 screws on here, that you're using the same wire on the front screw as you are on this one as you are on the other one. One of the wires is going to have a mark, like a dark line on it. Just try to make sure that you're doing the same thing on both, because when you bring them back and tie them together up here, you want to make sure that it's all the same wire for example, the front screw or the back screw all tying together in the machine. Now, here's where the biggest issue that I found. It was a problem for me and apparently a problem for a lot of you, which is why you're here too, which is even when this is aligned, it still might not be working. You're still getting flashes or it's not working properly. The reason is going to be because you have a secondary garage door with another garage door sensor for that garage door, and they're too close together and they're creating interference with one another. So when I was installing this before, I had the red one over here and this green one on the other side, and it kept flashing at me no matter what I did, until I realized I put something in between. It was actually this fire extinguisher in between, and then it worked. So what was happening was it was blocking the interference signal between the other ones. So all I had to do was reverse them. So I swapped them out. I moved this one there, that one here, reattached the wires, and it worked because of getting interference from the other one. So if you're installing new sensors and you've got two garage doors and you can't get the thing to stop flashing at you, try swapping them out, because one of them's getting interfered with by the other one. If that helped you at all, please hit the like button, please, because it's going to help the Google or YouTube, they're all the same, algorithm, so that way more people get to see this video too. It bumps it up in the rankings. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.